Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful, and we're beautiful, and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, you must become the victor. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like clockwork, and I predicted this in the video that I did on The Witcher 4, titled The Witcher 4 Trailer Broke My Heart, inevitably, there is a stream of content creators. We're going to look at this guy and the Act Man. He's making a return appearance, where these people intentionally don't understand. They do this intentionally for clicks and views, and so that they can virtue signal and grandstand and say how, the people who are opposed to some of these, aesthetic decisions and some of these lore-breaking decisions, people that have an issue with that, there's something wrong with you. You're a gooner, you always use the word woke, and this is just a deflection tactic from people that aren't particularly intelligent. They're not very bright. They don't want to sort of go out on the edges. People like this and people like the Act Man, they're always looking for sponsorships. They're looking to get in good with the industry. They're not willing to be honest and forthright like I am, because I don't give a shit about sponsorships. I'm just being perfectly honest. There is no benefit to the game by making Ciri less attractive, and she is less attractive. She is ugly. Now, of course, people are coping and saying, "Oh no, she's not ugly. Look at her, she's not ugly," and they're using this picture of her. But if you look at a series of pictures in its entirety from the trailer, yeah, she doesn't look better. She looks objectively worse. And my issue here is that this is something that is continually happening. It's not a one-off, it's not a two-off, it is a continual effort. It is a continual effort, and they do it all the time. I posted this on my YouTube community tab. This happens all the time. The character on the right is Ciri. She has a unique look, her eyes, everything. The character on the left is a generic-looking, typically unattractive woman from a Western video game. I don't know who this character is, but it doesn't appear to be Ciri. Oh, but it is Ciri, because we're told it's Ciri, but it doesn't look like Ciri. They made a deliberate change, and these backbenchers, these freaks, just cannot accept it. They can't handle the fact that people like myself have a difference of opinion. So what do? They caricature and they fear what they don't understand. So let's watch this guy who is notoriously wrong in his takes. Now, how did this guy get famous, by the way? By doing short videos, not really any sort of intellectual commentary, but interesting short videos reacting to him getting into anime and video games. Like, where you'd have a scene where he's watching like episode 1 of One Piece, like, oh, this is interesting, and then by the end of it, he's like dressing up as Luffy. Perfectly fine content, especially for shorts and stuff like that. But then these people get these big channels, and it goes to their head, and then they feel like they have to talk about all these social issues, and inevitably, on all of these issues, whether it's the Act Man, whether it's this guy, they're just absurdly retarded. And every one of their takes is formulaic. It's part of the, established, pre-approved opinion. And I just got to say I'm sick of it. So we're going to watch this. And the title of this, The Witcher 4 is woke?
I can't believe that we're not playing as Geralt in The Witcher 4. Looks like we got another woke DEI game since we're playing as her. She looks ugly.
Bro, what are you on? The Witcher 3 literally set up Ciri to be the next protagonist. Did you even play the game? She is...
Yes, Lurch 2.0. I did play the game. And because I played the game, I know that her being a Witcher makes absolutely no sense. She trained as a Witcher, but she's not a Witcher. So her drinking the potion in the trailer was sort of jarring, because she can't do that. Oh, no, no, no. But the developers say that they're going to explain it in the game. So they've already broken lore in the trailer. They've already done damage. So now they're going to take the rest of the game and they're going to fix it. Here's the real reason. And they're already doing damage control about this because they realized that they messed up. But that's not what a trailer should be. And Asmongold in his video did a perfectly reasonable job showing the trailer for Witcher 3 and the fact that there were inconsistencies a little bit between Geralt in the trailer and Geralt in the game. But Geralt in the trailer looked reasonable to Geralt in the game. The trailer for Witcher 3 was epic. It was cool. It was interesting. It was dynamic. It made you feel confident for the game. You're like, wow, this is awesome. The trailer for Witcher 4 was absolutely terrible. And now everyone's trying to run defense for this game because they don't like the fact that people called Ciri ugly, which she objectively is uglier than she was in the games. Her unique look has been taken away. Now she's a Witcher that apparently just shatters lore. And people have had enough. But loudmouth, low IQ people like this go on the internet and just mock them, mock people like myself and others, while not having any of the nuance or understanding as to why. If it's the Ackman, it's because you're gay. You just want to goon to this, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for you to say, you want her to be more attractive so you can goon to it, but you think she's ugly, so that means you're gay. That's because the Ackman is a retard, okay? And I don't mean that like tongue-in-cheek. I mean, genuinely, this guy is one of the most low IQ people on the internet aside from like Hassan. You are never going to go to the Ackman to get some sort of intellectual take or some sort of reasonable take. This guy's always going to be a moron. He's always going to be in business for himself. He's always going to be looking for an opportunity to kiss the ass of someone somewhere. It just isn't the consumers. It isn't the audience. It's, people that have the correct opinion rather than having an opinion that may not be in league with, what the streamers think. I will always value the opinion of other people when it comes to this space, just not this one. Just not this opinion. That you're a gooner if you disagree with what the Ackman thinks. Oh no, she looks great. Yeah, does she? Does she really? Does she really look great? It's like, no, she looks great here. She looks iconic. She looks interesting. She's got this is terrible. This is horrible. And if you can't tell the difference, you're a retard. It's as simple as that.
She's not ugly. She can cast Axie on me any day of the week. She's a little rough around the edges.
I'm sorry, who are the gooners again? I'm a gooner because I think she's ugly. But this guy's like, oh, she could cast Axie on me any day. So who are the gooners, really? Who are the freaks? It's not me. It's not my tribe.
She's fine.
But Ciri can't even become a Witcher according to the books. Only men can become Witcher.
Yes. So you like how he does that thing when he pushes down the thing? Yeah, no, that's true. Oh, that pesky thing called lore.
Okay, but these games are not canons.
So just... yeah, all that stuff that you set up, that you built up, that pesky lore thing, you can just piss it down the drain. You can do what you want. And these people, the people that are meant to look unreasonable in this are the people that are bringing up the basic facts. And the one that's supposed to look reasonable is this retard chump here. That's like, oh, well, she looks good on me. She could goon on me anytime. I'd goon to her. No, and by the way, it doesn't matter that the Witcher, she can't become a Witcher because this isn't canon. It's like, so basically, your thing is, well, her appearance doesn't matter, the lore doesn't matter, nothing matters. just accept product and wait for next product. That's essentially what it is. And my answer to you is, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, you're not a fan of the series. You're not. You're a fan of product. And whatever product name is, you're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, females can be Adeptus Astartes, Adeptus Custodes, yeah, absolutely. Even though the lore says that it's impossible, they can change the lore. They can do whatever they want. Canon, who cares about that? Who cares about canon? Who cares about authenticity?
CD Projekt Red has never said that these games are direct adaptations
Oh,
of the
yeah.
books.
Yeah, whatever. She won't be near as good as Geralt.
Okay, well, I love Geralt too, but it's called The Witcher, not The Adventures of Geralt. Ciri is a Witcher too, and I'm excited to play it.
She's not a Witcher. Oh, God.
Is her.
Okay, woke DEI sellout.
True.
Bro, you literally just said this about Ghost of Yote a few
Yeah, and it was true then too. Two things can be true at the same time, and they can have different details leading to the same conclusion. That's a completely different situation, actually. It is. That may be too complex for you to understand, but it is two completely different situations that both have things that are undesirable for a certain player base, which is the majority of players.
few months ago. It's getting to the point where if a game comes out in 2024 and the female protagonist doesn't look like Gooner bait, it's labeled woke.
Dude, first of all, Lurch 2.0. I say Lurch 2.0 because the Act Man is Lurch 1.0. You are the Gooner. You are literally the one that when confronted on this, you say she looks fine. I let her cast it on me. I've never said anything that obnoxious or ridiculous. I just said that she doesn't look as good, and she objectively doesn't. And it's an intentional choice, and I don't agree with that intentional choice. I don't agree with the grotesquification of women that these Western studios do all the time. We just saw it from Intergalactic. Are you going to make a video about, oh, you guys are complaining about Intergalactic? Yes, people can complain about multiple things that they see that are wrong at the same time. Unlike you, I have the mental capacity to do that. I can look at different things and come to a similar conclusion based on different evidence. Like Ghost of Yute, there's a similar level of just kind of frustration at them putting a hyper masculine female character in the lead role when I want to play as a Japanese fighting age man, which is apparently too difficult to do for these game companies, because whether it's Assassin's Creed Shadows or whether it's Ghost of Yotei or whether it's Intergalactic or whether it's The Witcher, they seem to think that the target demographic is female main characters, and the answer to that is no. You may not like that, but no. No, I don't want to play as a female main character, and a lot of people don't want to play as a female main character. If I were to play as one, Ciri would be the exception, because yes, they built her up in those games. She was never the main character of those games. She was never the main focus of those games. It was Geralt. It was his journey. It was his adventure. But yeah, if they were to ever have a ticket to make a female main character, it would be Ciri. And then they intentionally made her ugly, and then they intentionally violated the lore. And now they're going to have to spend an entire game backtracking. Oh, no, here's really why. No, I've just had enough of it. It's a frustration point. I'm not going to continue to play the song and dance. They make these bad aesthetic and design decisions. They make these lore-breaking decisions, and then I'm expected to just go along with it. Otherwise, I'm going to have freaks like this guy come out and call me a gooner. Well, no, fuck you. You're a freak. You're an idiot. You're a retard. You and the Act Man and all of you other backbenchers. Fuck you. Simple as that. You can eat shit. The design choices are bad. I'm going to articulate it. I'm going to vocalize it. I'm going to talk about it. And there's not a damn thing that you idiots can do to stop it.
Or DEI.
I can't believe that we're not playing as Geralt in The Witcher 4. Looks like we got...
Okay, so that was it. That was it. So then going over to the Act Man, he posts this. What do you mean you can't goon to this? So this is a common thing, amongst these low IQ people. They talk about gooning and they bring it to a sexual place, like, oh, you just want to jack off to this, which is something that Angry Joe did back in the day for Battlefield 5. It's something that extremely low intelligence people do. It's a way to get out of jail free. It's a way to insult you, basically say, "Oh, well, I wouldn't. I'm not interested in this for gooning." Yes, you are. Lurch, you are a freak. You are an idiot. You are slimy. I look at you and you just ooze. You have an aura of a used car salesman. I mean, you just ooze. You're gross. And it's evident by the fact that you don't have a pair of balls. You don't have the ability to stand on your own. And you're terrified of being ostracized by the gaming industry complex or the content creator complex. It's clear that you're terrified, you're petrified, you're going along with whatever you think the popular opinion is. I guarantee if it became popular to say that she's ugly, this freak would do an about face on a dime and start going, "Oh wow, she is really ugly." Um, but here we go. Here we have a post from me. Once again, the Act Man is a retard. True. Lurch, it's not about gooning. You low IQ freak. True. It's about a series of changes to the lore and design that fans don't like and recognize as worse. True. Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. Rather than sexualizing the conversation, why not address the aesthetic aspect of it? For what reason is the destruction of beauty good? What is the need to further destroy a high standard? Who benefits? If one wants to demonstrate ugliness, what is the lesson being imparted? Well, there is no lesson being imparted. It is simply a way to signal. Oh my God. Are you guys ready for this? Speaking of ugliness, this is brilliant and horrifying. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is a true work of art. That is a think piece. Here's another post that I made. I said, I've been asked to react to Asmongold's video on Witcher 4. Sure. But it's really quite simple. She looks worse, and we know why. Her being a Witcher breaks lore, and we know why. We've done the song and dance before. The DEIB pig shit from a compromise. It's DEI pig shit from a compromised studio. Absolutely. And she does look worse. And it's not just about getting older. Her eyes, everything about her looks worse. Everything about her looks worse. And so my contention is that this is not the same character. You've redesigned the character to look worse because you have DEI initiatives at the company that are actively pushing for this sort of stuff. And my answer to that is no. It's just no. And if you have a problem with that, if you take issue with that, if you think it's gooner bait, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's a particularly retarded and losing argument for you to take that position. And the reason is because it's so objectively obvious why this was done. It's so objectively obvious why. We've seen the behind the scenes. We've seen the interviews, the commentary. We've seen why people who work at CD Projekt Red are doing this. We've seen it. We've heard it. And there's a lot. We're gonna do a video on that too. There's a lot of behind the scenes, working to try to fix the damage of that trailer, because now people are going, well, wait a minute. It's like, well, Ciri can't become a Witcher. And the response from that is, well, no, we're just going to pack on more lore to sort of make it make sense. And we're going to throw quote unquote good writing after bad, which, it's an assumption to say that it'll be good writing. But you see that people like Jacob Weebly, or Weeby, whatever the hell his name is, he has an assumption, kind of like Angry Joe, kind of like most of these content creators. And I don't know if it's true of Joe today, but it was definitely true back in the day, that the assumption was that you're just a gooner. Why don't you like Battlefield 5? Why don't you like amputee, one-arm women on the front line of World War II, bludgeoning Nazis? It's because, why don't you like that? Why don't you want to buy that? It's because you're a sexist. You're a bigot. You want a goon. That seems to be a recurring thing amongst freaks and low IQ retards. They seem to have this obsession with gooning, with masturbation, with self-gratification. That's where they go to. Because I think, honestly, it's what they know. Because I think they're freaks. I'm looking at this character going, this character is less attractive. She's uglier. She's less recognizable as Ciri. I mean, she doesn't look like Ciri at all. They've done a very poor job in designing the character. I want to play as Geralt, but if I'm going to play as Ciri, I want it to actually be Ciri. I don't think that's too much to ask for. But I'm being lambasted, and other people lambasted. We're being accused of being gooners by a bunch of low IQ freaks for pointing out this very basic thing. And we're going to talk more about this, because this is apparently the new hill to die on. These developers make a character, especially a female character, ugly on purpose. They change the lore. They break the lore. They break the universe for her. And this is not new. They did this with Star Wars, and they did this with... they've done this with a bunch of other franchises as well. And a bunch of losers, a bunch of low IQ idiots on the internet get online and defend Milady. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not gonna fly anymore. The gloves are off. You decided that you wanted to go down this route. You wanted to try to shame people for having an opinion that you disagree with. So the answer is no. It's just simple as that. No. A firm and commanding no. I'm not buying this game, and I'm going to excoriate and expose and humiliate anyone who feels the need to try to shame people for having an opinion that is so obviously correct. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.